I swear the feeling that I had when I realized this thing was gone was like a panic attack. Okay, so today's video is brought to you by DistroKid. If you don't know about them, DistroKid is a service that musicians and songwriters use to take their music and to put it into online stores and streaming services such as Spotify, iTunes, Apple Music, Pandora, YouTube, and hundreds more. They're also the first distributor to send music to TikTok. What's cool about DistroKid is they don't take a commission, and they offer unlimited uploads for only a yearly subscription fee, which starts at $19.99. As you may know, this is vastly different than the traditional model, which generally charges per release around $40, and also usually takes around 9% per sale or stream. With DistroKid, you can also upload your cover songs for only $12 a year per track. DistroKid also offers automatic payment splits, so you can easily pay your collaborators or be paid if you collaborate on somebody else's track or album, which is super sweet. If you use my VIP link down in the description, you can save 7% on your first year's membership, or if you happen to know somebody who's trying to figure out how to put their music out and they could use the discount, go ahead and send them the link. If they use that, they will also save 7% on their first year membership. Thank you, DistroKid, for sponsoring this video. If you're new here, my name is ANDREWMASTERS. I work as an audio engineer and a producer here in Nashville, Tennessee. I've had the luxury of working with clients such as Weezer, John Legend, Justin Timberlake, Larkin Poe, Neil Young, and many, many more. 10 years ago, I moved from Peoria, Illinois to Los Angeles, California. Like a lot of other kids, I spent most of my adolescence doing things like skateboarding and playing music and recording bands that I was in, as well as some of my other friends' bands. Back then, I recorded everything on my iMac, and it got to a point where I started to run out of space, and at that point, I realized I needed to start backing everything up onto an external hard drive. Once I knew that I was going to move out west, I decided that I should back up all of the data on my iMac onto this external hard drive. I should let you know that I tend to thrive on having things in a particular order. I'm sure some of you can relate to this. I tend to do my very best when everything is extremely organized and easy to locate and access. Considering that, once I had backed all of my data up to my external hard drive, I made the decision to reformat my iMac. If you don't know what that means, it's simply erasing everything on your computer through a process that essentially leaves your computer in the state it was in when you first bought it. This theoretically was not a bad idea. You know, having a computer with a clean slate and all of your information on that external hard drive makes sense. So I did that. I backed everything up to my external hard drive and I reformatted the computer. Fast forward, I went on to move across the country. This was an enormous move for me. I not only had never lived on my own, but I also didn't know anybody in Los Angeles. But I didn't really care because I had big plans and a goal to wind up working in the best studio in Los Angeles with huge clients. I found a studio apartment in Hollywood that I wound up sharing with a roommate who I didn't know, by the way, and my roommate had not yet moved to LA, so I had about a month in this apartment on my own. Now, if you've never shared a studio apartment with a roommate who you didn't know, it's quite an adjustment. Back in Illinois, at home, I had a lot of space. I basically had a bedroom and another very large room that essentially was a home studio separate from my bedroom. So when I moved, I just brought some essentials, a couple guitars, speakers, and basic living necessities. Eventually, I got my apartment, or half of this apartment, set up and arranged, and I decided it was time for me to set up my rig and I could start listening to music and start working on some projects that I had. This is where things went pretty bad. The hard drive was gone, literally, physically gone. I looked through everything that I had. I retraced my steps. We checked the rental car. I had my parents check our house. I literally flipped everything that I had with me upside down, and the hard drive was nowhere to be found. I vaguely remember taking it out of my bag when I was at the airport so that I could reach something else that was inside of my bag. Assuming I'm a complete and total idiot and just left it right there on the ground, I called and reached out to the airports that I traveled through and did everything that I could to try to locate it, but I never found it. The hard drive contained everything. Every photo, every video, every song, every movie, every document, every recording that I had ever made, everything was gone. And the computer that I had was completely wiped. It had nothing on it, no trace of anything I had ever done before I moved to Los Angeles. Oh man, this had to have been back in 2010, so I was 19 years old. Yeah, I was pretty crushed. One of the first things that I was doing moving out there was going to a recording trade school, and I was very excited to be able to work on some of these projects that I had done before I'd move out there. I will say I learned a big lesson from this experience. Don't put all of your eggs into one basket. Keep copies, backups. Fast forward 10 years and literally thousands of sessions later, I've worked on projects with Neil Young, Weezer, John Legend, Rick Rubin, Blake Mills, Butch Vig, and a ton of other people that I really admire who have trusted me with their files. So I recently bought a couple of things that make the whole process of storing your data and backing all of your files up a lot easier. So now I'm at a point where I not only have to manage my own personal information and data, but also my clients for work. This includes sessions, projects, software, music, videos, and libraries. A lot of different content that needs to be very well organized and managed. I need to have an easy way to back up the data for safekeeping, but also have a work drive that has high transfer speeds. One of the purchases that I made is a 4-slot SATA dock. Now, if you don't know what this means, you guys remember Nintendo 64? It's kind of like that. You guys can see this thing right here under my monitor, which is a little docking station that sits there, and it has 4 slots just like that Nintendo 64. But instead of putting in my game, you can put in your hard drives. This setup works especially well for me because I typically have 3 to 4 drives connected simultaneously. What I like about it is that this dock allows me to keep 3 or 4 of these drives all connected via one cable. Working in music or video or media of any sort, you typically are on the go. The ideal situation for me is to have a large hard drive that I can store everything on that I'm not working on and don't need to have with me, and then have a work drive that is portable that I can take with me that's an SSD so it reads and writes at high speeds. I also keep 2 other drives. One is for video production storage that is very data intense. And then I also keep a hard drive that stores all of my sound libraries. So if you're on the go, you can just take the hard drives necessary, pop them on the dock, and then just plug that in via one USB cable. That works particularly well for anything that I need to do. Having this dock, it allows for quick mounting and unmounting, just like swapping a game on the N64. With the direction that technology has gone in the past 10 years and where it is going to continue to go, speeds are just going to continue to get faster and the storage size is going to continue to get larger. The new drives that I purchased are a Seagate Barracuda 6TB hard drive and a Seagate 2.5-inch solid state hard drive. So what I've done is I've taken my previous 5TB hard drive and I am backing everything up to my 6TB hard drive, and then taking my 5TB hard drive out of use as my safe backup. In case anything goes wrong, I have that. Next year, I'll probably just get a 10TB SATA drive that will be my new storage drive for the foreseeable future, making my 5TB and 6TB storage drives sort of redundant backups that will be from the 2010 to 2020 decade. My 2TB solid state is going to function as a work drive that I will keep active projects on that will be able to transfer at high speeds, and that will prevent me from dealing with any sort of drive reading issues or anything like that. It's definitely been working out really well for me, and really incredible to see how much of a difference it makes when you're working on projects, especially with video. There are a lot of great ways and certainly more streamlined ways of backing up and managing your data. However, this situation that I've set up for myself happened to be less than $600, which is a perfect investment for me right now to be able to just not worry about this for another year and know that I have a safe backup for everything and an efficient workflow to be able to do everything that I need to be doing for this year. I also like that it takes up 1/4 of the cabling going to my computer, and my desk space is very limited. I don't have all these drives sort of like spread out, going to an adapter, to a hub, to a dock, to a dongle, to a just silliness. I'm not into that. Efficiency and organization. That's what I'm all about. I'll include all the links below to all the stuff that I purchased if you want to check it out. Hopefully you never have to experience losing all of your information and personal and digital data. It sucks. Take the extra precaution and figure out what system works best for your work and for your own personal life. I want to thank DistroKid for sponsoring the video, and just as a quick reminder, if you use the VIP link down in the description, you can save 7% on your first year membership with them. As always, make sure to hit the like button for the YouTube algorithm and subscribe if you want to see more of this content. If you'd like to help out the channel, the best way to do it is to take this video and share this video with friends of yours on your social media, stuff like that. And I will see you in the next video. Peace. I'm just kidding.